Hey guys, Extrasify here. Welcome back to another gold farming video and another episode of our 50 run series, the weekly series where I farm a dungeon or raid 50 times, save all the rare and expensive loot, and show you guys what I end up with. In this week's episode, I figured I'd give Sunwell another visit, as I've done Sunwell a few months ago and you guys really seem to enjoy it by the viewership, so thank you very much for that. And I also decided to do Sunwell because of the fact that I've basically sold all of the rare and expensive patterns from here, so I need to stock up on some more. Sunwell is great as it has a plethora of rare and expensive patterns and world drops, and on top of the fact that the runs are super quick, they only take me about 3 minutes each, makes this one of my favorite dungeon slash raid farms. Heading into the farm itself, it's pretty simple. There are a few ways to farm this, but this is my method. I use my Dreamwalk ability at the end of my route. If you are not farming on a druid or a monk that can teleport in and out of the dungeon, you can always make a group, list it on the custom group finder, and then immediately leave the group, which will count down the 60 seconds until it boots you to the nearest graveyard. You can always do this, time it well, and make sure that by about the end of the run, maybe about 5 or 10 seconds left until you get booted out. You can always do that if you're not farming on a druid or a monk. Other things to go over while farming this, make sure obviously not to kill any of the raid bosses, as this is a raid, not a dungeon, so you will be locked to the raid for the rest of the week, unable to reset it. Now, in terms of the transmog that you can get from this dungeon, almost none of it is great. Pretty much all the greens I vendor, or you can disenchant if you feel so inclined to do. But overall, TBC raid greens are just literally worth vendor price, if that. I mean, it's so bad. But that is not what we are after here. There are actually a ton of Sunwell specific patterns for Outland that are actually very expensive due to a patch added in Dragonflight. They actually added a bunch of custom goggle appearances. Basically, people will have to craft old world goggles, and if you craft enough of them, you unlock these cool goggle customizations that you can add to your wardrobe. Now, a lot of these ones that are required are Sunwell patterns, meaning that the price of these Sunwell patterns has shot up quite a bit, and the sell rate as well, along with the fact that you can get awesome TBC world drops such as the Blade of Wizardry or awesome patterns. You have the chance of the Felsteel Longblade and a plethora of other ones that are very, very expensive, and overall, a lot of the TBC world drop epics have a very good sale rate because a lot of them look really unique, so that always adds to the desirability. So now that we know how to farm this dungeon and what to look out for, let's go ahead and check out the loot from 50 runs of Sunwell. Alright, now that we know how to farm the raid and what to look out for, let's go ahead and check out the awesome loot. Alright, so here is everything that we got in our 50 run session. I'll quickly go over the rare world drops and then go over the rare Sunwell items. So starting off with the world drop non-pattern that we got this Valanos's longbow, which you saw in the sped up little version of my run. I actually got that on that run. It's nothing too great, but it is a unique appearance and it looks pretty dang cool overall. It's 55 gold on my auction house, but it's worth about 500 gold region wide. Now, the other world drop that is not a pattern that we got is actually an epic, and it is a staff, the Staff of Natural Fury. This is a unique appearance, and it's worth an absolute ton. On my auction house, it's currently almost 66,000 gold. Region-wide has about a 60,000 gold value and a region sale average of about 15,000, which overall is really, really cool. And yeah, I was absolutely stoked when I saw this drop. Obviously, the Blade of Wizardry would have been a little nicer to get. So besides from that staff, we got a few decent world drops that were not the crappy little jewel crafting ones that we have here. We have like the Glinting Night's Eye and the Solid Star of Elune. These aren't too bad, they'll take a while to sell because they're for an old world gem, but there will be collectors that will look to buy it. Then we got a Outland Tailoring Pattern Cloak of Eternity. It's about 1,300 gold on my auction house, has a region value of about 8 to 10,000 gold. We got another Outland pattern for tailoring, the Pattern Cloak of the Black Void. It's about a 2,000 gold value on my realm and about 10 to 15k region wide. And lastly, we have another jewel crafting one, but it's for a heavy fell steel ring. I've never actually seen this drop, so I was a little shocked by it. Since it is a ring, it's going to be a lower sale and a lower desirability, but about a 3 to 5,000 gold region value. Now, we did get pretty lucky and get one world drop epic pattern for Outland, and as you guys probably know, that can either be amazing or it can be alright, but I'm quite happy with it. It's not the Felsteel Longblade, but it is the Earthen Nether Scale Boots. This was really, really surprising. It has about 100,000 gold value on my auction house, and a region-wide value goes for about 180,000 gold. This was a really, really nice find, and I'm very, very happy with it. Moving along from that, let's go over the Sunwell Epic patterns. Now, there are some bind on pickup patterns. Obviously, I just vended those. And then there are a few that are lower value that aren't really that sought after. The real money is in all of the goggle engineering patterns. So I'll quickly go over the cheaper ones. So like we have this Outland pattern pendant of Sunfire. It's crap. It's worth a few hundred gold. The most I've seen it go for on my realm is like 1,000 gold. So yeah, I got one of those. Same thing with the Sunblessed breastplate, and I believe that's because the breastplate itself is binds on picked up. So it's not like a rare crafter is going to want to make this to sell it. It's literally for collecting the appearance. And then we have another Outland pattern for jewel crafting, the Hard Corium Choker necklace. It's about 100 gold. It's crap. The Robe of Eternal Light, unfortunately, it is a robe that is binds on picked up, so that's, it's just going to be for someone that wants the robe itself. Couple hundred gold there, not a bad sale rate though. And same thing with this leather chest guard of Sun. So overall, these patterns, nothing great. I decided to keep them because they are epic Sunwell patterns, just to highlight for you guys. But yeah, nothing too special here. These 4 patterns are the goggle patterns, and we've got some serious value in these. I'm very, very excited. So the first one, we have the schematic for Quad Death Blow X44 goggles. Sure, whatever that means. Currently on my auction house, it is valued at 45,000 gold. Region-wide, it goes for 85,000 gold. Now, as you can see on my TSM tooltip, I've sold 2 of these patterns in the past. One of them for 14,662, and the other one I sold for 67,000 gold, with a mean value of about 40,857. And we got pretty lucky because I actually got 2 of those. So very, very nice finds there. Then moving along, we have the schematic for lightning etched specs. Now this is, again, another goggle pattern. And this value is absolutely insane. Maybe this is a more rare pattern of the goggle patterns. But it's currently on my auction house for 95,000 gold. It has a region value of 90 to 104,000 gold. And again, the sale rate is surprisingly good for an item worth 100,000 gold. 0.026 is really, really nice. And last but not least, we have the Hard Corium Goggles pattern. Another pattern for the goggles, obviously. And that's obviously where the money's going to be. Now, I actually sold one of these. Granted, it was about 80 days ago for 71,000 gold. Now, on my auction house currently, it's a bit low, but still respectable at 32,500 gold. A region value of over 100,000. That's kind of crazy to me. It might be a little high, but overall, very, very happy with the items that I've gotten here. So as we always do, guys, I'm going to hover over the Back Appraiser add-on and show you guys the total gold value in my bags of 50 runs of Sunwell. So, wow, okay, almost 400,000 gold. Overall, very, very happy with this farm. As you guys know, if you've watched the channel before, Sunwell is one of my favorite farms to do. And yeah, I mean, the results speak for themselves. You know, at least on my server, these patterns sell quicker than transmog by quite a bit. So I'm very excited for this value and to sell these. Yeah, I mean, Sunwell never fails me. If you guys haven't farmed Sunwell, I highly, highly recommend you guys give this farm a try. Whether it's a world drop that's worth, 5 or 10k, or if I do get lucky and get a goggle pattern, I feel like the drop rate in Sunwell really isn't that bad for the high ticket items. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for watching another episode of our 50 run series. I post this series every single Friday, and I have a playlist going with all of the episodes I have done. You can find that on my channel. And besides from that, thank you very much for watching another episode. Let me know if you have any dungeon or raid farming recommendations in the comments below. Maybe I'll give it a try. And with that being said, have a great day, good luck with your auction house sales, and I'll see you guys in the next gold farming video.